Nobody gets you ready for Utah football more than the KSL Sports Zone.
Ready?
The Utes get set for a battle against Coach Prime and the Buffalo. Your home for the best coverage of Utah football is right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. You're locked on to JJ and Alex on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Welcome back, everybody. JJ and Alex, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Alex, Kirry, Jeremiah, Jensen. We're outside Delta Center here for the opening night of the Utah Jazz taking on the LA Clippers. The jersey swap is in full effect. Let's hear from the crowd out here getting these jerseys swapped. Let's go. Woo! Now, there are some people who may not make it to the front of the line by the time the jersey is swapped.
I don't want to be 501. Don't be 501.
You're going to have to keep that old Derek Favors jersey. You're going to have to keep
that
old
Derek Fisher jersey.
That Derek Fisher jersey that you're trying to offload.
You just can't get rid of.
It's going to have to stay in your closet if you don't make it all the way to the front. So we're having a good time outside Delta Center.
Whoever's going to get that swap is going to get those Ace Bailey jerseys tonight.
We've already seen a Walt Clayton.
The white Ace Bailey is beautiful.
We saw the Walt Clayton Jr. jersey. That was my first one I've seen so far. Brand new Keontae George for this season as well. Lots of folks rolling out. But more importantly, you're seeing a lot of the different color schemes that we decided, oh boy, I would have swapped out those jerseys too.
Yeah. Purple is back.
Listen, we have been absolutely schizophrenic when it comes to what the color scheme is of this Jazz. You can't exchange the Lakers jersey for any Jazz jersey. I'm sorry.
Burn those.
Actually, you know what?
Burn those.
We would allow it. Take that LeBron jersey up to the front. We'll give you a purple 23 that says Lowry Markkanen on it. You can have it, all right? Lakers fans showing up. Come on. Of course they do. Let's kick off the show as we always do with the cut. Pete Fiutak, collegefootballnews.com is where you can find his byline. He does a phenomenal job. We're going to jump in right here with the cut. Let's do it.
It's time for the biggest story of the day. This is what made the cut with JJ and Alex on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Doug Smith brings you this portion of the program, an incredible selection of Kia, Subaru, Chevy, Jeep, Dodge, or Ram. It is your family of dealerships under the Doug Smith banner, and we love those guys, and nobody knows cars like Doug. Nobody knows college football like Pete Fiutak. Love having Pete on the program as always. Pete, welcome back to the program, man.
So let me see if I get this. Is this like a cathartic, eliminate the past? Like if you bring your Thurl Bailey jersey, you get it for
oh, no.
Like
those are sacred.
Yeah, those are the ones.
Oh, okay.
And by the way, Thurl just walked by, we're on a big speaker here, so you may have just spoken some terrible sacrilege as Big T walked by.
I'm keeping nothing against Thurl. How about an NC State's Thurl Bailey jersey? Is that acceptable at that point?
Absolutely.
That would be sweet. That would be sweet.
You could sell one of those for $500 here in Utah.
My belief is you're allowed to wear a jersey of someone who's older than you. A little creepy if you're wearing a jersey if it's someone younger than you, unless you turn 70 years old, in which case wear whatever you want. But for a grown man to wear a younger man's jersey, a little weird.
It's a little strange. Yeah, fandom gets a little bit weird over time. Well, we're coming up onto week 9, Pete. And I feel like we don't know college football. I feel like this year it's harder to handicap at this point of the season than it's ever been. Are you in agreement there? I mean, when we're talking about a number 10 Vanderbilt team, when we're talking about an undefeated, crazy number 2 Indiana team, college football has been absolutely turned on its head over the past couple of years. And this year feels even more wild.
It's weird, yeah, and it's what's happening is you are having this is the fun of the NIL movement, and it's the new way of being able to transfer and get quarterbacks in place. Diego Pavia, Fernando Mendoza. I mean, you've got guys all over the place, even there in Devin Dampier, even though he had a rough outing, and you're getting all these players. Everyone's got a good starting quarterback now. And so it has kind of shaken out a little bit, but then you still have that big monster at the top. Ohio State still, until they're just going through the motions at the moment. They're just playing so well. But, yeah, it's a little bit hard to figure out. I'm still not buying Vanderbilt. I do think that Indiana is kind of got the right schemes. But you're right. This has been crazy, and nothing crazier is professional segue here, into your Big 12 where at this point – it's like Texas Tech will be back, and it's Texas Tech, and who else is getting to 10-2 to get in that playoff?
We have no idea. I wish we knew. I mean, you have we were talking about this too, speaking of like college football being turned on its head. How about this conference who has an undefeated in conference play Cincinnati and an undefeated in conference play and overall BYU? Exactly who we thought was going to be at the top of the standings at this point of the year. Yeah, right. But at the same time, why not? This conference has delivered absolute wildness the last couple of seasons.
So doing what you do, are you equal BYU, Utah? I mean, forgive me for not if I'm sacrilegious here. You like as long as one of the Utah teams is okay, or are you one side or the other?
Well, we're technically right down the middle, okay? So you can offend both sides or compliment both sides, and we take all of it.
Yeah, no,
you got a bunch of Jazz fans standing around right now, so go for it.
Yeah, but no, look, it's crazy because look, BYU is just sort of a find a way team. I mean, I don't know if it's really that great or not, but they're undefeated, and they just kind of keep winning, and that's enough. You know, you have a fun quarterback in Bachmeier. You got a team that just plays tough, hard-nosed football. They did this last year until they gapped at the end. And it looks like you got another one of those teams that's just going to kind of keep hanging around. And, look, just keep winning. Keep that 0 next to your column. And then as long as there's a 1 or a 0 next to that column at the very end, you're probably going to get to the college football playoff. So they're playing just well enough. And Utah, I'm very disappointed. They're not representing their best work. I wanted more out of this Utah team than this. But, you know, they're pretty good, but having to run the table from here on is going to be kind of tough.
Utah fans wanted more from this team, Pete.
Kyle Whittingham
it was
too, yeah.
Saturday night was very disappointing. It's not often you see a Utah team that doesn't execute at a high level. You know, they've always been that chip on their shoulder team, the overachieving team, and now you're watching a team that just doesn't have that edge when it comes to execution. So there's some frustration there, but BYU is exceeding expectations this year, and Bear Bachmeier is one of those reasons. What are your thoughts on Bear specifically from what you've watched, what you've seen? He's not putting up massive numbers, but he's getting the job done, and he's won over the BYU fans for sure.
Well, that was last year with Retzlaff, too, where, you know, you look at his numbers and you're like, he's not very good. But if you watched him, you're like, this guy's great. He's just sort of makes plays and keeps the chains moving and, you know, does quarterback things. And so that's good enough. I mean, let's start with this. The number 47 is just cool. It's just that
it is pretty cool.
I'm for that to go old school jerseys. Nothing cooler than, you know, the old 20 Bernie Co-Stars or the 22, you know, Doug Flutie. So I do dig the 47 aspect of that. And again, he's fine. I mean, he's such a young player, but he just sort of fits. And again, this BYU team just kind of does stuff right. And just, you know, there's teams out there that do this. There's Georgia Tech. You know, there is, you know, to a certain extent, Indiana, certainly Vanderbilt, and BYU just kind of find a way to, in key moments, come up big, and that's been BYU so far.
Pete, one of the things that we've looked at in this conference, and we've been trying to figure out, you know, who's good across the conference, and yet at the same time, there are a lot of people who go, yeah, but this conference doesn't get the respect at the national level. Every week we watch these polls, and you see teams that are launched ahead, or you see, and I feel like every conference tries to put their elbows out to argue for why they should be a little bit higher or lower or whatever it might be. By the end of all of this, in the college football playoff race, is it going to end up still just being a handful of SEC teams who, by the way, haven't been great like this year? The SEC's been beating itself up. The Big Ten, a little bit the same thing, besides Ohio State and Indiana. Everybody's looking around going, who's going to get into this thing? So from a national perspective, who have the edge besides the big ones like Ohio State right now, who honestly feels like the only one you can kind of count on?
Nobody. I mean, remember, this is the college football playoff is different than like the NCAA tournament. You can't just get hot from three for a couple games and like end up in the Sweet 16 or anything. It's really going to be. You're not going to get a South Florida who's going to come in and win 3 games. You can get in it, you get your cuts, you get your T-shirt, and you go home. And I'm with you. The problem. So to your question, it's going to be a ton of SEC teams. There's going to be like 5 of them that are going to be 10-2, or maybe Alabama's 11-1. They're all pretty much the same, and I don't think any of them do anything. I think Ohio State's way better than everyone else. I think Indiana and Oregon are better than Alabama. And I still think, I know they lost their first 2 games, including to Texas A&M, but that was just to get things started. Notre Dame's awesome. Notre Dame is better than last year. They're healthy, and that it took like a half for C.J. Carr to get up to speed. But they got the two best running backs in the country. Their defense is just starting to get it all together. The only Achilles heel is that kicking game. So anybody who had the over on that Notre Dame USC game knows exactly what I'm talking about. But other than that, I would say it's right now. And I'd put Miami back up there. I know they were bad against Louisville, but talent-wise, they're right there. And then the SEC is just a bunch of teams. I don't think any of them do much once they get into the tournament, but it is going to be loaded with SEC teams.
Also, Pete, I'm a Heisman voter, so I'm trying to watch the best players in the country closely, and I'm even struggling with that. Like, who is the best player in the country right now? It was obvious to me last year with Travis Hunter. You could make a case for Ashton Genty as well, and obviously the year before that, you had Jaden Daniels and a couple quarterbacks in the mix, but it feels more wide open in the Heisman race this year than ever before, just like it is with the national championship race.
I say this, I didn't even have Travis Hunter on my ballot, and I still can't believe he won. That was Shedeur Sanders was the best player on that team. And Scattaboo and Genty. Hunter was fine, but yeah. But to your point, you're right. There isn't that obvious guy. The best player in college football is probably Caleb Downs of Ohio State, but that's not going to happen. So, like, it's either Diego Manziel, who every week is doing something, just otherworldly. Mendoza is probably the guy. Haynes King's right up there. The guy I'm going to stump for, too, and if you kind of watch him, it's just he doesn't get the numbers because he doesn't carry the ball enough. Jeremiah Love is awesome. He is just doing big things for Notre Dame right now. He is probably that best combination, but I don't know how you do it as a Heisman voter. I've always kind of done it as who's the combination most valuable player and most outstanding player, and I guess right now it's got to be Mendoza because Indiana's number 2 in the country and he's playing out of his mind.
When you look across the landscape of college football, Pete Fiutak, by the way, collegefootballnews.com is where you can read his byline, get a better idea for anybody across the country when it comes to people making news on the college football front. When you see teams like Florida State who lose to Stanford, or you're seeing these big-time teams and these coaches that within a couple of weeks start to melt down, and then the conversation of we're firing these guys mid-season now and we're doing the buyouts. We've never seen it like this. I just wonder what your thought is on how the world of college football coaching is, knowing that like now no one cares what you did last year or even at the beginning of the season. You'll be gone in the middle of the year.
First of all, were you up to watch that Florida State-Stanford game?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
to the bitter end.
Right time zone. Because that sucker ended at 2:45 in the morning East Coast time, and that was borderline. It was almost Stanford Cal 82 finish. When you talk about three plays with no time left on the clock, the miracle play to get down there, and they screwed it up. Obviously the Florida State guy got in, and they just didn't have the call on the right shot on the goal line, and the collective result was, okay, we're just going to fire Mike Norvell anyway, which they'll probably do at the end of the season. But if you're going to do that, if you're going to do the mid-season firing guy, you've got to have a guy in place that is coming in. Like, Penn State already has to have its guy. They can't just do a search at this point because, unfortunately, the most qualified guy for that job is James Franklin. So what are you going to do? Matt Rule, Manny Diaz? I mean, that's just not going to move the needle at Penn State. And you know that Florida has somebody in mind. So Florida, for doing this with Billy Napier, the worst thing that could have happened, because they just beat Mississippi State. They just beat Texas. So he's on a little bit of a run. So if they wanted to get rid of him, the worst thing that could happen is Florida beating Georgia 2 weeks from now, which they could absolutely do with that defense.
Right.
So they kind of cut it right now because either they have Lane Kiffin in mind or it's got to be someone big.
Well, I was going to ask you about that. It's funny now because we also are watching Scott Frost at UCF for Scott Frost 2.0 there, Rich Rod 2.0 at West Virginia, and then everybody's talking about Jimbo Fisher going back to Florida State, and you're like, oh wow, we've gotten to the point now where we're just going, you know what? Let's just try to repeat whatever was going on back, when things were going well. It just seems like such a cop out to just go back to guys that brought you some version of glory and then rehiring them again when they're 15 years or 10 years older.
Including Dan Mullen in Florida, and that
right.
one too. I mean, I'm just going to speak two things into existence. if you're North Carolina, you give it a year, and then James Franklin. That would be like the perfect fit.
It's not bad,
I'm also going to speak this, and I say this going back full circle to our jersey discussion, as I do have a 21 Sanders Falcons jersey somewhere in my closet downstairs. How about Florida State with Deion? I know the dude hasn't won much. He's like my favorite player ever, but like he's only like 16-16 or something at Colorado. It's not like he's gone lights out. But how do you not at least address that if you're the Seminoles? But you're right. I mean, you're out of ideas at that point. If Greg Schiano's not exactly rocking going back to Rutgers, and you're trying for something that that it's familiar and it's easy. But I go for the younger guys who can you have a shot at, and find your own new guy. And if it doesn't work, you move on. Or find the guys who are proven winners. Like Cignetti wasn't a hard guy to figure out. That guy won at absolutely every level at the highest of levels. And some of these coaches are just good at what they do, and just go find those guys instead of just going what'll satisfy the shoe company or the alumni.
There are some really high-profile Power 4 jobs already open, and there probably is going to be several more when the season ends.
Wisconsin.
Florida, Penn State, yeah, that's probably happening. You mentioned potentially North Carolina. I mean, Arkansas is open, Oklahoma State, UCLA, Virginia Tech, Stanford. How would you rate those jobs? Which one is the one, if you're an up-and-coming coach, which is the one you'd want the most, which is the one you'd want the least?
I mean, out of all of them, I want nothing to do with Florida. I mean, because part of the problem is the Florida gig. Look, yes, you're supposed to win at Florida no matter what. But Billy Napier's lost 9 games over the last year and a half. Out of those 9, 7 of those teams are either went to the college football playoff or are going to be in the college football playoff. And the other 2 are like Texas A&M and LSU. So it's like, what are you going to? I mean, yes, you're supposed to win, but those schedules, that's just too tough. That's just asking for the world. Ohio State's not quitting college football, so if James Franklin winning 70% of his games isn't good enough for you, I don't know if I really want that. I still think that UCLA is a sleeping giant, and at this moment, how do you not keep Tim Skipper? I mean, it's my I wrote a column on this. It's not going to happen, but theoretical argument time. What happens if UCLA beats Indiana? What happens if UCLA can win out and get to the Big Ten championship, but they still have to go to USC and they still have to go to Ohio State. Like, that would be like the quirkiest thing ever in college football if all of a sudden they went on a run like this. But I think UCLA is a great job opening. Arkansas, you're beating your head against the wall. Oklahoma State, maybe if you've got some oil money, even though T. Boone isn't around anymore. And Wisconsin, as a Wisconsin grad, I was never a fan of the Fickle hire. I didn't like it that much. I want James Franklin. I still think he's really good. But he's going to fall up somewhere and still be a rock star somewhere else. But, again, there are so many bright coaches out there. There are so many good ones. You take a shot on someone who wants to be the next big thing. And, everyone wants the next Cignetti. Everyone's going to want – again, I was there for Barry Alvarez when he came on. Utah, hit the jackpot with Urban, and then later with Kyle Whittingham. So you want that guy who's just going to kind of be the foundational, part of your program for years to come and gets it. And at this point, as we're learning, you got to go younger in this era of NIL because you got to be able to handle all the different aspects of this.
Pete Fiutak, collegefootballnews.com. Read his byline right there. Pete, we love having you on the program, man. Have a fun week 9, taking in all these games that have become absolute chaos this week, man. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Have a blast tonight, guys.
All right, we will. Thanks, Pete.
Taking a break here. We'll come back. We've got more to go. We are outside Delta Center, where the jersey swap is in full effect here. I'm hoping all these folks are able to actually swap their jerseys, JJ. I'm not sure if it's going to happen.
I would hate to see somebody turned away because the line is long.
It is very long.
Maybe they extend it. I don't know. We'll see. But I love what the Jazz are doing. Let's get rid of those highlighter yellow ugly things, and let's get some Ace Bailey jerseys out there on the fans.
Couple of Rudy Gobert jerseys wandering through the crowd, hoping to get exchanged as well tonight. So we'll come back. We've got more to go around the corner. Our NFL Blitz is coming up a little bit early right now. We're also going to roll out our Hercules Hero winner of this week. So stay right here with us. More to go from Delta Center, 97.5 KSL Sports Zone.
All the latest news and notes from the league and the locals in the NFL. JJ and Alex bring you the NFL Blitz on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
5, the KSL Sports Zone. Alex, Kirry, Jeremiah, Jensen, thanks for being on the program here with us today. We get you ready for all the we get you ready for this opening night. By the way, this is as cool of a moment that we've seen on an opening day at the Delta Center, I think, that we've ever seen.
I love the jersey swap.
The jersey swap is phenomenal. On top of it, it gets your fans excited about the current year. It gets everybody kind of going, and the juice is flowing on this thing. Look, everybody knows it's not going to be the easiest thing to sell this team if it's middle of the year and they are dead last in the West, which is absolutely a possibility.
We know what this team is going to be
this
year. We have a pretty good idea, and it's fine. We know where they're at right now in this rebuild process. That doesn't mean you can't come down here and have some fun. It doesn't mean that this team isn't going to be fun to watch. It doesn't mean that Ace Bailey isn't somebody that should excite you and get you excited about the future. And a lot of the other young players on this team. And you have some vets on this team that you can really latch onto and enjoy and really embrace. You know, Kevin Love's here. Kevin Love, an NBA champion, one of the best players of this generation, is a Utah Jazz player. It's pretty cool. To have George Niang back, all of it's great. So there's a lot of things about this team that should excite you. You can accept what's going to happen. It's okay. This team's going to lose a lot of basketball games. We understand the assignment again.
Yeah,
so as long as you understand that and embrace that, so what? I think this team's going to be a pleasant surprise to a lot of people. It may not show up in the win-loss column, but it's going to show up in the entertainment value and the competitiveness that they flashed this year compared to last year.
It's the NFL Blitz. By the way, that music in the background. We just look. It's hard to avoid. It's hard to avoid.
It's the Jazz opener, so we got to hit the Jazz here.
And
every single segment.
We'll be chatting more about the Jazz. Of course,
excited about this.
As we get you ready for Jazz Clippers tonight. We already had a big T. Thurl Bailey sighting. David Locke came through. I think Locke was fascinated by the jerseys that were in the line too. He was filming it for his own social media, and I thought. He's probably getting a fun laugh and a chuckle down memory lane as
absolutely
a lot of these jerseys that we've seen in line. So anyway, okay, let's get to the NFL Blitz here. I was looking at this yesterday, and I was wondering about what this is going to be going forward. The Commanders and the Chiefs firing up in. What are we in week 7 now of the NFL? Week 8 in the NFL.
Crazy, right? Yeah, week 8.
And this Commanders team has turned into something totally different with a not healthy Jaden Daniels. And it's funny how fortunes of teams can flip-flop so quickly.
Well, look at the Bengals. They finally get off to a great start, and then Joe Burrow's out. They lose 4 in a row. They got to go sign Joe Flacco to save their season.
And he has, okay? He has, and it is. It's consider it JJ saved. I've been really bummed because there are teams like the Commanders. We've still been waiting to see the version of C.J. Stroud that we saw in year 1 from him, and we still haven't seen it. I just wonder about if these young quarterbacks, we get high on them real quickly, and then in a flash, what's real there? Is Jaden Daniels just going through an injury moment here? Is he going to end up being – what's going to happen with the Commanders long term here? Is Daniels with what we saw with that team last year? I mean, that was – a play or two away from going to the NFC Championship game.
Well, that team last year, they won a lot of close games. They had some things break their way. They got some momentum. Jaden Daniels was new to the league. Give him some credit. As a rookie, he was ready to come in and play. He's a dynamic quarterback, but the league had an entire offseason to game plan for him, and that's how this works in the league. Teams are going to figure you out. You got to figure out the next thing, and that's part of the growth as a quarterback in this league. Tom Brady was always, it felt like, reinventing himself or proving himself again and again and again. The Patriots went through a period of time of a decade where they didn't win a Super Bowl, and the NFL is tough. There's so much parity in this league, and there's not much separation between the best and the next level of players, and so you can't slip. Another team I look at that they're 3-3 right now, the Minnesota Vikings. What if they had Sam Darnold again? Because you're watching what Seattle's doing with Sam Darnold. And it's like, did you make the right choice there?
Actually,
if you find something, look in the league, it's so hard to find good quarterbacks. And I know that Sam Darnold's season didn't end the way you wanted to last year, but he's still a relatively young quarterback in the league.
Listen, he was 14-3 last year.
That's pretty
for the Vikings.
good.
And then so far with the Seahawks, who people did not expect anything out of. What are they? 6-2 now this year. So
right.
5-2.
They're 5-2.
5-2, and they are overperforming, right, compared to what I think people
tied for
thought they were
first in the NFC West,
which is wild. And by the way, when I watched that game the other night to try to drown my sorrows after the Mariners were eliminated, and I pretended like I didn't even know that they existed, and I was only ever a Seahawks fan. I watched this game, and I'm going, this guy has a command of a huddle. You can tell when a guy comes out of the huddle, and he knows what he's doing every play, and he's just a step or two ahead of of the defense. He's a step or two ahead. And looks like the guys like him, too, and trust what he's doing. It's wild to roll the dice on a quarterback and to get the type of return that you're getting in places like Cleveland, which, by the way, the news out of Cleveland is this. Kevin Stefanski is like, Shedeur Sanders is not getting first-team reps. Even after Dillon Gabriel during practices when they're rolling out – like they are praying that they don't have to put Shedeur Sanders in. That's kind of where they're at in Cleveland.
Why did they draft him?
I'm going to be honest though right now. If you are Shedeur Sanders, like I hope I don't get in either.
Right.
In fact, just trade me.
You're already in the place where quarterbacks go to die before your NFL career's even started.
They terrible.
Took Dillon Gabriel in the same draft class as you. Why are you there?
He's wondering the same thing.
I would want out. I would want a different change. I would want a change of scenery. And, if he's a fifth-round pick, would they just release him, making him a free agent? That would be an ideal situation for Shedeur because then he could go where he really wants to be and where he can really thrive because I think he's very talented. I think he needs a better situation, and the Jets aren't that situation.
You could – oh, no. Okay, worst place to be at quarterback. Before the season started, we were like, the Jets, the Cleveland, but for sure Indianapolis. And look at the freaking Colts right now.
How about that story?
Is that the most amazing turnaround of a team that we've ever seen, and from a quarterback
that we've
ever seen?
Best record in the NFL right now. Best record in the NFL.
Is it the most shocking that you've ever seen of a turnaround at the NFL in the NFL for a quarterback and a team in just like 6 months and in just a year? And by the way, they have no business being as good as they are. They're I don't think people look at their is it Shane Steichen who's the head coach?
Yes, Shane Steichen. He was talking about whether or not he was going to get fired.
He was going to get fired 10 minutes ago, right? I mean, this is how we do it. And now everybody's looking at him. He's going to win NFL Coach of the Year award. And
he's got my vote right now.
I'm telling you.
Not that I have a vote.
Well, they should give you one, right? Do you vote for a Heisman? Yeah. Well, we'll give you a random Football Writers of America vote for
what he's done in Indy is, and with Daniel Jones, a quarterback that everybody just threw in the garbage, and to see what they're doing is just phenomenal.
Max Crosby, the Raiders' phenom edge rusher, injured right now, right? But also a guy who people have been looking at and going, they are going to use this dude as a piece to be able to start building the franchise up again somewhere else. They've informed him that they are not going to trade him. They've told Max Crosby in his camp that he is not going to be on the trading block. Good or bad thing for the Raiders? Good or bad thing for Max Crosby?
It's bad for Max Crosby because he needs to go somewhere where he can really shine and really have an impact because it's not with the Raiders right now. It's good for the Raiders because he's the face of their franchise. He's the most recognizable. He might even, I'd have to look into it, he might be the longest tenured Raider. And when you think of Raiders players over time, and Lloyd's standing right here, is Max Crosby the most Raider player ever? The most Raider player ever. Like I can't picture him playing for any other team.
Come on, smoking a cigar like in the locker room while they're winning.
He's tatted up. He's had a rough. He's. No, I'm not. Like he just looks Raider to me. He just looks Raider to me.
He does. Is it the tattoos, JJ? Is that what it is?
That's not what I'm saying. Like he looks like.
Is it the possible turmoiled youth that he likely had? Is that what's going on?
No, he just looks and feels like a Raider.
So judgy. Yeah, it's the Raiders.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
judge
sure.
the heck out of them.
Take what I said out of context, sure.
Oh, my goodness. Max Crosby. Yeah, get him out of there. Now that I think about it, get him out of there. They don't deserve any nice things in Las Vegas. They're ruining everything. All right. Next up on our NFL roundup, our NFL Blitz. the Dolphins have put Darren Waller, speaking of the most Raider guy ever, they've put Darren Waller now on the IR.
Speaking of stories, I mean, that was a great story coming out of retirement.
I know, after 5 seconds of being decent coming out of the – and you know what the Dolphins needed? Bad news on a decent player. And it looks like Darren Waller is going to hit the IR.
That franchise can't buy a break.
Dead man walking is Mike McDaniel, right? Like
he's toast. He's got no chance.
He's toast. You think about all the things that these guys are getting hit up on and why they can't be or can be a head coach.
He's about to take a Cliff Kingsbury vacation from coaching.
Of course, the back and forth about the Super Bowl halftime show has now hit a fever pitch as people are incensed that Bad Bunny is still going to be the guy. And Roger Goodell, of course, I love that Roger Goodell has to comment on it. Just a guy in his 60s going, a white dude in his 60s going, Bad Bunny is going to continue to be our halftime entertainment. Bad Bunny, I heard the kids like him.
We continue to be great fans of Bad
Bunny. And by the way, a meeting between Bad Bunny and Roger Goodell would go terribly because Bad Bunny does not – his English is like, and then Roger Goodell definitely has no idea how to communicate with a fever pitch popular rapper from Mexico. So
like, why do people care? Like, you know what you're getting in a halftime show. You're trying to get the most popular artist.
I just love it.
And guess what?
Yeah,
ultra conservative bro isn't going to get the guy he wants. The Speaker of the House is not going to get Lee Greenwood for a Super Bowl halftime show. That's not going to move the needle, folks. I'm sorry. Like, what do you expect? Why do you care? Who cares? Hate it. Go get a snack during halftime. Who cares?
Those are the people who don't watch the people who hate it. They don't watch the halftime show.
Why are we whining about Bad Bunny in the halftime show? Who cares?
They're like, now give me Dr. Dre. He's got his PhD, I heard. Well, bring him over. Come on. Is it Dr. Dre MD? Is that what we call him officially? Or come on. That's not how it works. You guys have a problem with every artist. You can dig up a problem with every artist out there, by the way. Our producer Alex Napolis has found that out many times as he's brought up problematic rejoin music again.
We've had to tell him not to play that because of this and this and this.
You've got to lay off. You've got to lay off all of the Michael Jackson tunes. Okay. All right.
Sorry, we can't play Ye anymore.
We're taking a break here. We'll come back. We've got more to go. We may as well be in line. Here as well with the folks outside of Delta Center who are part of the Jazz jersey swap going on right now. As people are walking into the stadium, into Delta Center and trying to get those jerseys exchanged as they start the season off here. We're having a party out here on the plaza. JJ and Alex continues. Before we get out, I want to remind you, Hercules Hero, the Hercules Hero of the Week program is brought to you by the folks at Hercules First Federal Credit Union and Beehive Meals. What do? You go to KSLSports.com/contest. You nominate a youth sports volunteer in your area who does an awesome job. And we read those winners off every week. Right here on JJ and Alex, we'll do that. I thought it was today. It's actually tomorrow.
Yes.
So, but you can keep those nominations rolling in. Just go to KSLSports.com/contest and nominate a youth sports volunteer, and they win a prize from Hercules First Federal Credit Union and Beehive Meals, are awesome sponsors of that program. We'll come back. We have a top 10 next right here at 97.5 the KSL Sports Zone.
It's another battle for the Aggies, and the KSL Sports Zone has it covered. The Aggies head to New Mexico for a battle against the Lobos. Your home for all the play-by-play coverage of Aggie football is right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. You're locked on to JJ and Alex on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
All right, everybody, welcome back. JJ and Alex, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Alex, Kirry, Jeremiah, Jensen. We are outside Delta Center, where fans have lined up for the jersey swap. How does it work? The first 500 people who showed up with a jersey that was in whatever condition, as far as I can tell, like I think it basically has to be like a
retro Jazz jersey of some kind.
Retro Jazz jersey of some kind, but also kind of, it's not the T-shirt versions of it. It's got to be
the real deal.
It's got to be like a legit jersey, but it doesn't matter the era that it's from or when you got it. They're doing these straight across trades for the first 500 fans of brand new Jazz jerseys, and I just saw a fan who was over here, and there's no hey, pay the taxes or anything. It was just a straight up like, here's my jersey, throw it in there. What's the worst jersey you've seen today? Like the style. Like, what's the worst style?
The highlighter yellows.
So the bright yellow here with the black Jazz.
They need to
notes?
die a certain
Oh, that
death.
poor kid too.
They need to go away.
He looks sad.
I know.
He looks like a sad
because
child.
all he knows is bad Jazz.
All he knows is bad
This poor
Jazz
kid,
jerseys.
it's
and
like a
bad
Jets
Jazz.
fan. Like, my team sucks.
Did you see that kid's interview that went viral?
Oh yeah, no,
Phenomenal.
I was going to suggest we played it in the Blitz. It's hilarious.
It is awesome. He just goes, I hate this team.
Truly captures the pain of a Jets fan.
And it's raw, and it's from a kid who's like probably 14, 15
Yeah,
years
he
old.
doesn't know anything different.
Yeah,
his
hate
team's
this
never
team.
been to the playoffs.
Hey,
in
Napoles,
his lifetime.
Find the kid who hates the Jets, but he's never going to stop cheering for them. That encompasses what happens in
Mr.
sports.
23 right here. That's that kid.
That's that kid.
He was born into it.
Lots of Spida Mitchell jerseys in the gradient, like red to yellow.
Yes.
The old
City edition.
By the way,
The Moab jerseys, we call them.
It's a Win Ticket Wednesday, so I've got you some tickets to give away right now. Caller number 12, no questions asked. Caller number 12 wins tickets to see Adam Sandler this Sunday, October 26th at Delta Center, part of the You're My Best Friend tour. 801-575-ZONE. That's 801-575-ZONE. 801-575-9663. You get a pair of tickets to see Adam Sandler on Sunday at Delta Center right here, part of the You're My Best Friend tour with Sandman. So check it out. I've got a top 10 here for you, JJ. You ready for this?
Let's go.
The theme is Jazz jerseys. The theme is the top 10 best-selling Jazz jerseys of all time.
Really?
Now, I will qualify it by saying this.
How did you get this info?
Listen, stop. Don't try to ask me my sources.
Okay.
Ever, all right? I don't want you to – I'm not going to betray any friendships. All right? I have in front of me the top 10 selling Jazz jerseys of all time. Now, I will say that styles of jerseys matter.
Yes, sir.
And that also means that you may see a couple of different people on here multiple times with different jerseys. Okay. So this is all-time selling Jazz jerseys. On your mark, get set, go.
Karl Malone, John Stockton,
Ding, ding,
Donovan Mitchell,
ding.
Rudy Gobert, Darren Williams, Carlos Boozer.
Hold on. Wait, Darren Williams?
Yep.
Ding.
Andre Karolinko,
Hey, did you
AK-47.
just start the timer, Alex Napoles?
He's a little behind schedule.
How dare you?
Soon to be Ace Bailey, but that's a little too soon.
Hey,
Pete
by
Maravich.
the way, yes, ding.
Okay. Kyle Korver. Okay. Jeff Hornacek. Wow. Thurl Bailey. Mark Eaton.
Ding.
Okay. Who else we got?
So now I want you to think something, though.
Derek Favors. Paul Millsap.
Paul Millsap.
Al Jefferson.
Ding. No, just kidding.
Okay. Am I out of? I mean, I've said everybody. Is there anything
feels like
left?
You've said a lot of people. I do have at least one. I know that you have.
Howard Isley.
Howard Isley.
Antoine Carr, the big dog.
Oh man,
Greg Foster.
I think about guys whose jerseys you shouldn't have anymore.
Costa Kufas.
Ronnie Price. All right, now listen.
Who did I not get?
Here's
you
the
said
thing
there was one I didn't get?
So you got, but just by saying Carl and John, the Karl Malone, the number one all-time best-selling jersey of the Utah Jazz is the Karl Malone Purple Mountain iconic jersey.
Yes.
John Stockton Purple Mountain jersey.
Yes.
Number 2. Donovan Mitchell City Edition.
All right.
Of the Utah Red Rock landscape is actually number 3 all time.
That's great.
Beating the Karl Malone Classic Purple Note that was number 4.
I love that one.
The John Stockton Classic Purple Note was number 5. Okay, so it's John Stockton, Karl Malone, 4 out of the top 5.
Makes
sense.
Okay,
Donovan Mitchell in the middle of all that. Pistol Pete Maravich, number 6, with the New Orleans colors.
Yes.
Darren Williams with the Skyline Blue
Yes.
is number 7. Mark Eaton with the classic white note purple jersey, number 8. Number 10 is Lowry Markkanen, the black jersey, the black statement jersey.
Yeah.
Number 9, the only player you missed, Andre Karolinko.
Oh, I said AK-47.
Oh, you did? Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, well, AK, you got them all then. I
Good.
guess. You got them all. So
Well,
there you go. The AK black.
Easy to guess the
by
players.
Way,
it would have been more difficult to guess the specific jerseys.
Yeah, it was the AK black jersey too.
Yeah, the
It
black
was,
one.
it
The
was
black copper one with copper on it.
Well, it was the initial, what they called, they were statement jerseys even back then.
Right.
So there you go. Well done, JJ. You passed. You became a Jazz fan. I know that Alex Napoles just said something in my ear. What did you just say, Nap? What did you just tell me? Oh, this is the one.
Oh, yeah.
This is the one. And
This
listen,
is sad.
So Jazz fans are out there right now and are listening and are wondering, are we going to get to this level of hatred of your fandom? The answer is you will never be this low, so always consider yourself better off that way. Here's what it sounded like in New York from this Jets fan who was asked about the game on Sunday.
Cinnamon, get your thoughts on the game.
I hate this team. I was born into this, and I'm not gonna ever. I'm always a Jets fan, but like, I hate this team.
So good.
You know what? It's just the pain of a guy who. You know what that is? That's a guy who does hate this team, and he loves his dad. You know, that's a guy who just said, "I hate this team. I was born into it. I mean, I guess I'll never stop cheering for it." He looks at his dad, who's probably like, "I hate him too, son. Let's hate them together." Like, you know what I mean?
They've hurt us both.
So, Jazz fans, as you're going through the line with the jersey swap, it's never going to be that bad. It will never be Jets bad for this team. Am I wrong?
Sure hope not.
No, you can't. It absolutely can't get that bad. All right? So there you go. I hate this team. We should just pull that. That's all we need is, I hate this team.
We'll play that drop every time one of the teams here lose.
Anything. It can work for anything. I don't care who you are. It just works for everything. So we'll take a break. We'll come back. We've got more to go around the corner. We're live outside Delta Center for the Jazz Clippers tonight. Tipping off. Fans are at this is a phenomenal sight to behold here outside Delta Center. So go check it. You can, of course, watch this Jazz team tonight taking on the Clippers, and we're going to be watching them all season long. It sounds like it sounds like people are on a roller coaster at Lagoon.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know what's going on that's causing the fans to just go bonkers every few
People are having a
minutes.
good time here. Come on down and watch the Jazz tonight.
All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back. More to go around the corner. 97.5 EKSL Sports Zone.